Hi guys, welcome back. This is Nikki Fogden-Moore, the Mojo Maker. I'm doing a short live today with yourself, so I had a really beautiful coffee meeting this morning, but once again the conversation going back, which was what is it that you really want, owning your truth, right? And all of a sudden we get caught up in all the white noise and all the reasons why not, etc. It's so important that you have people around you, whether it's friends or coaches or family, where you're prepared to sit down and think about what is it that I truly want. And there need to be a sounding board for that. So let me just talk a little bit about that in context. If you don't truly have an honest conversation with yourself first, then everything that you try and go and do from that point is just kind of like staying in the comfort zone and keeping everyone else happy, right? So what's really start to show up for yourself, not 10% of the time, not 20% of the time, but truly honest on what it is that you want. So I'm going to give you a little case study. I'm not going to name any names, but I have a fantastic friend of mine who was also a client for a little bit, and she is ultra intelligent. She's got so much to give. She's very purposeful and passionate about a particular subject, but she has a family to support, and she has this great job now. But in her heart of hearts, she wants to run her own consultancy, like desperately. And when she goes through that process, even though she can create a mood board and a business plan and a vision about it, during that time, her subconscious kicks in and goes, there's so many people doing that. Why would you bother? You've got to put food on your table for your family. It's never going to work out. All the reasons why it can't happen. So even though she really wants this, and she says, if this happens, then I'll go and take a next step. If this happens, then I'll go and back myself and do it. What will it take for you to take a leap of faith and put a proper plan of action in place? So we had this big conversation this morning that said, you're telling me the same thing you told me 6 months ago, which is you really want your own company. You really want to do this. You really want to help people. You're passionate about it. But here you are, again, getting caught up and staying in exactly the same place, having all the reasons why you can't do it, and then giving me a multitude of excuses. And I said, this is just not going to work. The universe does not know what to give you if you say one thing and do 3 different other things. You have to be congruent, right? That takes an enormous amount of courage. So instead of fear and forcing and holding on to things for dear life because we're really afraid of change, because most of the time we've got no known evidence as to what happens next, you have to replace that with curiosity and conviction. It's all very well to say that mindset is everything, right? I wrote about that on my Instagram post today. The conditions in life are always perfect. So that trust you have in yourself, that trust you have in the universe, the faith that you have in wanting to do something needs to supersede the fear. I'm going to repeat that. The trust you have in the self, the trust that you have in the universe having your back. And when you're really aligned with your truth, that faith has to supersede fear. So we're all going to have fear, and we're all going to have our ego and our subconscious and all those little conversations that go on in our head. That is part of being human. You cannot get rid of it. But what you can do is recognize it, identify it, and then you choose to leave that negative self-talk to the side, matrix it out, and choose a positive mindset. Choose the next right thing to do. So if you want to go part-time at your job because you're doing something on the side, be honest and make a game plan and work backwards from what great would look like. But if you're just hoping for something to happen and wishing for someone else to figure it out for you, it's never going to work, and you're going to feel discombobulated, disconnected, and you're never going to feel at peace. So whilst things are scary, especially at the moment in our economic times of change, where everything's up in the air and our usual wars of knowing what we can and can't do are completely changing, you must have more faith in yourself than ever before. And you must know what voice to listen to. So not the insidious, noisy, chatty, grumpy, shitty, defensive, blame, shame, guilt, ego, but the one that says, you know what, it's very faint, you've got this, right? And then you have to keep flexing that muscle. You got this. I back myself, I back my business, I back my value, my worth. We've all had moments, and we have them on a daily basis, where we get the speed wobbles, or we're worried about things and we have doubt. It is a human condition. But once you recognize that you have the power to move through that and to get over that doubt and to take action, then you can start to see the evidence of putting your dreams and purpose in place. But if you sit in the walls of wondering and of letting your ego and self-doubt and everyone else's opinions hold you back, not only will you be unrested and you'll be restless in your mind, but you'll also be unresolved in following and designing the life that you really want. So whatever you're doing today, you know, I think we get taught to collaborate and co-create and do all these amazing things, which I'm a big advocate for. But first of all, you've got to figure out all your skills and all your superpowers and what you really want, and stop looking for other people to complete you. We can amplify each other. We can co-create together by adding value, but nobody should come in and make what you're doing whole, right? You have to be in union with yourself. The most important relationship you're going to have is with yourself, whether you're running your business, whether you're organizing your family, whether you've got a new project, or you just want to get up in the day and enjoy it without any stress. Your mindset will change your life. So if you're embarking today and you think, yeah, this is all good, you've got to have a consistent approach. So not big peaks and troughs, but what are the tiny shifts and coordinates that you can do that demonstrate to yourself, that demonstrate an inner cognitive action for faith, for curiosity, for courage, and for consistency. So if you want the worksheet on that, where you can check in daily on how to actually put your goals with your actions and your attitudes, please let me know and I can direct you to that or send it to you with a link. But most importantly, you have to show up for yourself. That is your first and foremost job on this planet. And when you do that, and when you back yourself, and when you're well mentally, and when you do the work to shift out of discomfort and doubt and start choosing to be in the driver's seat of your life, the rest will come in one by one. But we have a very finite thinking process that prevents us from taking a leap of faith because we're really scared, right? What if it doesn't work out? What if there's 10 other people doing the same thing? What if it worked? You know, what if who you are is destined to actually evolve through this? And because you're listening to this, like, yeah, what's the next one thing I can do? Who around me can I have an honest conversation with? And how have I had an honest conversation with myself? You know, we don't have to throw the baby out with the bathwater and have these big changes in our life where it's this or that. There's always an integration that's possible. So sit down with a pen and paper, take a quiet moment just for yourself, shut out all the white noise, and ask yourself, what is my truth? Just for now, what do I really want? What would great look like? And work backwards to put the coordinates in place that actually demonstrate a life that shows that, because you have the ability to be in the driver's seat. But if you keep letting doubt, fear, blame, shame, guilt, and discomfort and catastrophes and other people's judgments be your reasons why not, then you're missing out on the incredible opportunity of what you were designed to do in the first place, which was to be your full, whole self and to bring it. So later today, I'm going to be talking on my YouTube channel about soggy pieces of the puzzle and why personal union is really important before you even think about collaborating with anyone else. But in the meantime, there's heaps of these little videos on IGTV, on my YouTube channel, Vitality Coach TV, and the Mojo Maker podcast, as we go through a pretty exciting time for me where I'm practicing what I preach. So I know exactly how scary it is. And I try and come more and more and bring more of myself. As we always say, it's an audience of one. You know, like, people pleasing is so misleading. The most important person that you have to be congruent with is yourself. And when you do that, that is game changing. It doesn't mean being rude or dismissive or judgmental to others. It just means being discerning and completely in alignment and in truth with yourself. And when you can harness that, that's where the magic lies. So I hope today I've reminded you to be focused on your own truth and to have a really honest conversation with yourself. Put everything else aside and think, what does my heart want me to do? Right? Follow that. That's the strongest GPS, and it will provide all the knowledge that you need. I'm Nikki Fogden-Moore. Come join me on the Mojo Maker podcast, Vitality Coach TV on YouTube, and just, you know, swipe up around left, right, and center. Go to the bio and go to IGTV. I'd love your comments and feedback. Have a really, really, really fantastic day wherever you are in this world. And remember, you got this, right? So we all need to be magical in our own right, and that's where we create the most incredible ingredients for things that really, really are going to make a difference and count on this planet. Until next time, you stay healthy, wealthy, and wise, and be the CEO of your life as well as your business. See you later.